may be plenty of confusion for us both. And now, we're on this new video, and we're saying goodbye to Ray, in accordance with all these other videos. And we missed a piece of the flow there, but if you do watch the video just previous to this, then this will make much more sense. And if you only watch the video previous to this, it may still not make as much sense, but in some way you can tell I'm explaining something accurately that could have at one point made sense to somebody who understood the context of it. So if you want the context, I recommend going back to one, but it's possible that the context for everything we're saying here can be summed up within one of the last two videos. Who knows for sure? I don't remember. I'm here right now in this syllable, so we're saying now goodbye to Ray. We went into a different thing about a different thing about a different thing that has to do with personalization, this, that, and the other, and how it's okay for her to express perfectly. And by perfectly, I mean, yeah, of course, it's okay to express with a perfect expression. No, I mean, it's okay for her to express in any way at all, even if it's seen to me to be the greatest detriment and humiliation to myself personally for the videos or for anything. It's okay for her to do anything. And she says she's sorry, as if I was saying that that's what she was doing, and that's another over-personalization of what I was saying. But as it turns out, I wasn't saying that specifically. I was just saying that it could be that. I was bringing it to a realm of harshness and extremity, which I used to have to explain to her quite often, that the harshness of this is not reflective of the sensitivity level of what it was I was perceiving from her personally, but it was an extremity, an example that was supposed to bring to great clarity and focus with precision the center of a paradoxical form of ideas that can allow us to focus in a place of viewing that brings us to an understanding of ineffability that would help us through whatever it is that I happen to be explaining to specifically or accurately and focus at that time that brought the fruition of that cycle to come to be portrayed in these many amazing ways, as are constantly happening, as she can tell you about the amazing unfolding of everything. I don't know if she has told you.
Yeah, I was just about to say as my goodbye, like how amazing it is, an honor to learn from you and have you as my teacher.
I would hope that she would never, ever say anything like that in order to make up for any previous
No,
seeming
I
dissonance
just
through expression. Because for me
I
personally,
want them to know the
I think
truth.
that it is best for people to just be, completely 100% authentic
I'm
and
authentic as I
honest
can be.
and not control their expression in any way. So no matter what they may feel, no matter what they may say, um, to just be completely authentic. And I know that I've come in a way of interjecting, but it's most likely that you haven't heard her yet anyway, and so that's not a big deal. She was speaking just then, and she even wanted to interject with some kind of a way to say, "I'm not saying that right now," and I think that's sweet. But she can just listen to everything I'm saying. I'm not even really talking to her anyway, and then she can tell me that afterwards if she thinks really that it is that I believe that that's occurring in some kind of a manner, shape, or form, or whatever that is. It does seem to me that it's possible that part of her expression had a tonality that was connected to the memory of that, and so in some way it was now like a victory to come the other direction from that points and dissonance, and so there could have been a seeming joy and a comfortability and a safety that came to that expression, believing that it would be seen by me to be pleasing. But by me personally, because I notice these kinds of weird subtleties and frequencies and sensitivities and directional focuses that have attachments to previous expressions in their current expression, because I am here expressing so finely tuned to just this syllable that I'm on. And that can be hard because you're like, wait, but you just said three syllables. I know, it's quite the fine tuning. It's really amazing. I'll tell you all about it. And because nobody else on the planet can articulate it as specifically and accurately as me, and as commonly known by so many practitioners, you'll find that I'm quite valid. There's a lot of validity in the statements I'm making. It's not really arrogance. It really is a phenomenal confidence born from experience. I do love you all. And so, anyways,
If I can just say that I wanted the viewers to know that I don't know. It was mostly me talking to them in the way that
I mean, I
don't.
just felt like it was
I
maybe a
don't.
good time for you to like just wait until your time to say goodbye,
Okay.
at that time.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I do like your forwardness because you're so quick and you're like, but you're jumping in at a point to where it was just like,
It's bad.
I just wanted to state that, you know,
I just want the
whatever you have to
other.
say is the greatest thing to say.
I
And
just.
so, no matter what it is, I was just saying, like, I'm not going to be upset, which you already know this, You already, I mean, authenticity, what's really yourself, even if you were beating my face in the ground, is, I mean, I'm going to be authentic too, though. I'm going to remain authentic as well the whole time. I'm not just like a sitting here person getting pummeled by people. I respond authentically to how I'm feeling, even though I'm like in fear for my life or whatever. I respond authentically. And so the response is what people are typically afraid of. But they are allowed to express. You can express. And so you can express. And so she's known this, but she said she felt like she couldn't do this. And she said this more than one time. This isn't the first time she said this. So it's not like, but this is the first time she said this in this way.
On video, and I'm sorry.
Not just on video, but in this manner of personalization to this degree of downward sloping. But that's okay, not a big deal. She has said things previously of a similar nature, not quite to the harshness of the contextual chord shape as what our downward feeling is feeling now. But of course, we have been again for hours without any direct discussion between myself and her about this previous occurrence. We have not had any direct harmonious discussion about this aside from what has occurred here on this video. And so that's why I like to stress that I hope that she will feel safe and comfortable in saying the most evil things to me if she wishes to, or the most wonderful things, or whatever. I just hope that she feels safe to simply be herself, because that's the point of what we're doing here, is that we are able to express ourselves, not as what's right or what's wrong, but just as we are, whatever that is. Because whatever we are is exactly right, no matter what that is. And so I'm not against somebody saying whatever they're saying. It does throw me off guard sometimes. It does. It can be shocking. I mean, the now moment's quite new and amazing, but I'm going to accept it. But also, you're going to have to hear my expression as well. And so we both have to do that. And if we both have to have our expression heard before the other, then we're both going to say that until one of us decides that the other one's the one that's going to be able to say it first. And most likely, I'm gonna stop first. So I'll win the surrender first. And if you win, then and you tell me no, I won the surrender first, then I'll let you win that too. And we'll just go that for a long time, and you can just win all of the things, and I will win the not winning of them. Or I will not win that, and I will win the not winning of that, and whatever. I don't mind. Whatever happens for me, I'm going to win that thing. You punched me, I've won that. Now, if I punch you in response, you won that, but I don't know what will occur. I can just say that whatever occurs, it is my highest benefit, and I will forever perceive it to be that way. And so I will have won it. It will be the greatest of things for me. It will be a wonderful, utter perfection. And I will see it that way at this moment, forever onwards, no matter what it is. And so, punch me with your words, with your mind, with your spirit. No big deal. With your body. I'm going to hope that actually you don't do that. And then if you do that, that I'm in a place in my expression where I can be very kind and very gentle and not lean into you in a way of competition. If I don't do that, I will surely win. And if I do lean in with competition, I will surely lose. Which reminds me of something about effortless flow and about push hands. It's easy to win push hands. You simply don't try to win. The person that first tries to win in a competition with a man that doesn't compete will lose. Anyways, we'll explain more deeply the subtle chord shapes of those particular frequencies and how to go into those energy flows and motions. But I think for this time that we are actually finished and that we are actually going to allow Ray to say goodbye today. Sorry about not letting her and saying, hey, sorry, we're not doing that, and have to say this fucking shitty, whiny tone and voice, but it's what was available to us here within the present moment of the surrender to it, so we're just going to trust that it's a perfection unfolding, and that's for some reason this is the greatest benefit ever to ourselves and to all beings everywhere without one exception, just like absolutely everything is. So we can actually just trust that everything is as it is, and that we are also, because we're not really also, but we are it. And so are you, and so am I, and so am everything. And so we can just be accurate with the way in which we describe ourselves to one another. And we can even describe ourselves of, we believe this, but we're unsure. That's wonderful. I don't know what I am, but I think I might be this. That's awesome. That's so cool. That's not an absolute. It's kind of formless, and it's saying what it is that you accurately believe as you do. That's honesty, that's authenticity, that's awareness of yourself. It's not against anything. It's not trying to say something about something absolutely either. So sometimes people explain me about me. Well, okay, go ahead. You can explain me to me, and then I'm going to explain me to you after you have explained me to me. And we're going to see if those two things align. If they don't align, we're going to start to maybe discuss why. And if you think I'm attacking you with contradictory information to where we can't discuss as to why you've told me what you've said, then I just have to believe you told me everything from your head and not from your heart. Where instead, I would have been led to a place where your curvature would have followed into a place of harmony to explain with impeccability what it was you were trying to say of me. Because you obviously told me something to benefit me about me, right? And if you did not, if you were just trying to be mean, then I guess I understand why you have no reason to explain to me what it was, the wisdom you were giving me. Or maybe you think I'm an ignorant person and that I have no patience or that I can't receive or that I'm dumb. But you see, I will explain to you everything because I never perceive you to be that way. I see you to be the perfect Buddha embodied, and so I will give you in fullness the entirety of my expression for hours and hours and hours, even if it seems to be of dissonance and discomfort to me. Eventually, I will see it to be no longer a benefit, and I will leave because it's no longer a benefit. If I can see that, then I'll stay there. If I can see that, then I'll go. And if I can see that there's a benefit, I'll stay there for like ever until I believe there's no benefit. But that's when I go, when there's no longer benefit for yourself, which means there's no longer benefit for myself. I go. If there's no longer benefit for myself, I know there's no longer benefit for yourself. And so if either of those two things occur, sometimes I can not see how it's a benefit to me, but still know that there must be some kind of a benefit occurring to me, and so I'll stay. And so that happens typically with those situations to where I just breathe into that, continue expressing, feeling like, what the fuck is going on with this? And even expressing that exact thing as it's being observed by me. What the fuck is going on with this? And just staying present with myself and knowing that, knowing what I want most. And that even though there's a part of me that wants to go away, my whole body wants me to stay. And so I just follow that, the body, the heart, the breath. And the mind and the dialogue, I just observe that and respond to it, but still remain surrendered to the breath, the moment, and the body. And the thought, the dialogue, the narrative is actually something that I can just simply be and allow to occur existing with me here centeredly. It turns out when I do that, I'm myself. Who is myself? I'm a limitless mirror of consciousness, limitless channel of emptiness. I am all that is. I am the conglomeration of every being entirely, all of enlightened mind, existing and exuding through a singular point in expression, and that is what we all are, focal points in the same manner and form, and I can show us this. I can actually draw this out for us. But the drawing out of this and the conceptual knowledge and the understanding of that is not the entirety of it. We must go within. We must seek our own direct experience and realization. We must do this. We must know it, actually, and not just conceptualize it, not just boast about it, not just wave it around as a degree for everybody to see and give us status and validity and possible pussy or penis within reality. No. Truly, actually, And don't worry, I'm going to present a great fullness of agitation to go with the entirety of this. You are not going to enjoy your existence once this logic comes into play enough for you to sustain the illusory reality that you continue to sustain. And I'm not going to do this against the illusory reality or against you or to force or pressure. I'm just going to genuinely offer my authentic awareness and my entire experience to all of consciousness. And people might not like this. Consciousness may not like this to some form of fashion. Who knows for sure? But it's what I feel like doing. And so I imagine that because of everything else I've been shown in consciousness, that it's the greatest perfection ever, and that it's the highest benefit to all beings everywhere without one exception, as it be the highest benefit to me, whatever it is that I authentically wish to be doing freely of my own nature, and spontaneously without any kind of wish to, for no reason but I just wish to. And so that's what I found. I noticed that Ram Dass found this too in himself in the way in which he wished to share quite unorthodoxly with the way people are usually sharing within those types of realms and consciousness and wisdom. But you see, we're changing the mold here. We're growing quite a lot. We're changing from thousands of years of ancient culture to 100-year giant growth and difference. This is huge. We have changed so many ego identities in this past century. We have refined and grown so much. Now it's time to move it again, as we're always doing. So let's do this together more frequently. And again, now that Ray is really sure she's probably never going to be able to say goodbye today without me interjecting, here is finally Ray. I know the moment you've all been waiting for. Naked Ray. Don't worry, we're not going to show her pussy or her breasts. She looked at me very scared for a moment, like, holy shit, what's about to happen? It is Naked Ray, but it's Naked Ray in a low-profile kind of way, in a way that's good for YouTube and also for herself, and not like exploiting her and making her feel like some kind of sex poster or whatever. She is not at the level of confidence to have that happen. I would be out here as a sex poster or whatever. I would be out here. I'm a sexy man. I don't mind. But I mean, I actually probably wouldn't be out here as a sex poster, at least not for money. Well, maybe I would for money. It depends. How easy is it? $2,000 this second for how long? I don't have to really go against myself, do I? I can be honestly me. Yes, you can fuck them exactly as you wish. Maybe. Nah, I don't need to do that. But anyways, I have no problem being naked on camera is what I'm saying. And the perverted whatever thing was just a dissonance or just an ability to bring myself out of shame or embarrassment that would cause any kind of limitation or clogging to the flow of the fluidity of this energy transferring through me. It's hard to go that fast, you know, you really just have to trust that it's going to roll out exactly as it's meant to. But when you do, it turns out that it does in the most amazingly accurate way possible. So phenomenal. Trusting more and more through every expression. Learning every moment through every syllable and chord shape and sound and hearing, listening, affecting frequency that possibly ever occurs to me. And so, yeah, I would have no problem with this. YouTube would be upset with my penis. I really wish that I could show you myself naked, not for the reason of being sexy, but I do love myself. Yeah, sure, I'm sexy. Everybody's sexy. We're all great. We're all beautiful. I don't need compliments. It's not a big deal. I don't need validation or status or any of those things. But I would like to show the way the body moves with itself. How it moves very naturally in an amazing way of fluidity. And I have a very beautiful body. And it would be a beautiful work of art to show how the body loosens itself and moves itself with not just the feet moving themselves, but the feet that move the calf, that move the knee, that move the thigh, that move the hip, that move the pelvis, that move the core, that move the chest, that move the shoulders, that move the forearms, the arm, that move the upper arms, the forearms, the hands, the neck, the everything. I wanted to show how they all move together in a great and amazing, powerful unison. And I've decided that I would just have to get some kind of tight pants. I could videotape this on the beach in Maui, on the nude beach. And as I get into maybe looking at the possibility of an editing program that could maybe uh, paint my cock blue or something, and I don't know, like green screen that shit, you know? Some kind of like flock of seagulls poster on it, I don't know, some kind of funny little spoofy imagery that allows me to move with the fluidity of the body and a nudity that won't show my penis to everybody in a way that causes them some weird agitation in their presence because they've never seen a male penis on a human before or something. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I mean, my body being my body without affecting anybody. I'm not even looking at people perving on them or nothing. I don't have that weird desire. If I did, though, it's also not something that's affecting something negatively. Um, I don't know. We have a lot of weird distinctions and stuff. I had to work with this myself being on the nude beach. Do I care if this person does that? And do I care if that person looks at me like this? Do I care what people think of me like that? Do I? What about me? Well, what could be wrong? Do I have that intention? Huh? Do I have that intention? Let me find out. Am I that intention? When you find out finally your intention, now nobody can tell you what it is, and then you can just rest into what is you perfectly. Now, if you care about what they think so much to where them saying something about you and you caring if they believe you or not, as if that is you or not, um, come together, it's going to be a problem. But really, I mean, if you know you, it really doesn't matter if somebody tells you something about you that isn't true. You can simply tell them what is true about you, and if they tell you it's not true about you, then you can just tell them how it is true, and you don't know where to go from there because they don't believe what's true. So there's just nothing more you can do in that point. And if you present it to them in that way, in that kind of a realm of confidence, typically that will work out. But if it's not actually true, probably will still be confused. And if it is actually true, even if they are still confused, whatever, doesn't matter. Move on with your life. Okay, that was disturbing, but doesn't actually mean something about me. It's very interesting. Now, I would say if it was super agitating, and anyway it was, that you have an ability, if it's agitating in any way, to look at it and refine from the information that was giving. As it was for your highest benefit, and it was something that was showing you something that is allowing you a gateway deeper into the centering of yourself and your limitless expression, your authenticity, who you are actually. Okay. Just making sure. She just come over, look, just making sure that I'm not nude videotaping her without her knowledge.
No, I was gonna see if I could grab the lighter without being nude videotaped.
Oh, yeah, you'd have to go around this way. But now we're good to go. So, here we are again at the very end of this video. We're about to show you Naked Ray's goodbye expression without showing you her naked body, which is quite beautiful and young, and she's a wonderful being. And we're talking about how it's okay to be naked. It's the human body. We're natural. We're animals. It doesn't have to be sexualized. It doesn't have to not be sexualized. We're sexual. We're gorgeous. We're amazing. We can fuck. We can make love. If you would just accept yourself and your attraction and your frequency, you would see you're actually not attracted to many things. You're actually mostly attracted to things that, well, you yourself personally are attracted to. Eventually, you'll let yourself do that with relationships. You'll let yourself do that in life. You'll stop bringing yourself to the job you're not attracted to. You only bring yourself to the job you are attracted to. You start doing this thing with everything in your life, and you may find that liberation is the thing for you eventually, but whatever it is, love you guys. You're the best. Here's Ray Fasolati Doe, our greatest reporter ever, phenomenal videographer, amazing blessing to all of consciousness. Here she is. Love you guys.
Thank you. I love you. Goodbye.